Hey guys, what's up? I'm here, Shant is back with another backtesting session for you. I just backtested 2nd of December's London session, but it wasn't really a nice session. The volume just sat down, and that's why I'm backtesting another session for you. And I will upload the first one, the second of December backtesting, and this one also to the Shant's backtesting, Discord channel. And yeah, let's start with shuffling days a few times and then spin the wheel. And let's see which London session will be chosen. And it's 8th of December. I will just remove this one. And let's check the economic calendars. Okay, and it's 8th of December. Let's see if there was any high impact news in this London session, because we need to check just before each London and New York sessions if there will be any significant news or any significant news release. And in my country, London session starts at 9 o'clock. It's UTC +1 and ends at 12 o'clock p.m. And it's as you see, they are just all low impact news in this London session, so it's absolutely safe to trade. But if you take a look at Forex Factory 2, then let's see. 8th of December. And as you see, it's Italian bank holiday that is highlighted in the Forex Factory calendar, but it's absolutely fine for us. Maybe some volume is still left in the market. So I will just backtest 9th of December and the Fourier chart. Let me play price to 9th of December. Okay, just a bit, back. Okay, not like that. 9th of December. Okay, that's perfect. Let's switch to the 50-minute chart and play price the London Open. Okay, and this is perfectly enough. I will just start the analysis on the daily chart. I've broken down all the price actions or the high frame intentions on the weekly and daily in the 2nd of December, backtesting session, but I will just quickly run through all of these price actions just to be clear to anyone else. So yeah, price was just breaking structure over and over, huge bullish pressure into the market. It even changed character on the weekly chart too to the upside, and then it just reached this decisional daily supply zone here, because there was a nice daily supply that directly caused the swing breaker structure to the downside here. And then after purchase previously in the middle of November, because there was no significant higher time zones here, especially daily, maybe there was a 4-hour zone, no, not even a 4-hour zone, or maybe precious reversed on some sort of significant, 4-hour daily supply zone. But in the current region, price is reacted on this 4-hour refinement of this daily daily supply zone, I believe, and then it just left behind a significant 4-hour demand zone at this point. Then a range sweeping concept which just happened, and after the range sweeping concept, price just shoot up to the sky and mitigated this weekly supply here. Inside of this weekly supply, we have two valid 4-hour refinements. Okay, I will just zoom in a little bit, and you will see that we have a clear, upper refinement and a second refinement which is a bit lower and still not covered by the 50% of the zone. So it's very much safer to take a look at the upper refinement just because it's covered by the 50% mitigation. And as you see, price just clearly bounced back on the upper refinement. Price just swept the lower refinement into the upper refinement. And in this case, I will just delete this weekly zone here because it just messes my brain, messes my eyes a little bit. So after there was, a break here, price just flipped this 4-hour supply zone with these bullish movements. And the bullish movements have been caused by this zone here. We had a clear zone that caused a swing breaker structure and the flip to the upside, and prices reacted on the zone, and it collected enough liquidity to mitigate and collect all the orders from this supply here. And then after the orders have been collected, prices reversed to the downside and couldn't manage to take out this low point here. And it is at the moment just building some liquidity. I'll just mark it here. Price just building the liquidity. And basically it is ranging on the 4-hour chart because this is the range high, this is the range low, and price is just dancing around inside of this main structural points. Basically, there was another break structure to the upside that had been caused by this zone here, and there was technically a 4-hour change of character to the downside, and other that there was a 4-hour sub-break structure to the downside, but since price couldn't manage to take out the last strong low point, which is, as you see, the market is moving like this. This is, strong high, strong low, and weak high point, strong low point, weak high point, and then it's still weak because it couldn't manage to take out the last strong low. So we can really expect the sweep of this weak high point here, and the order flow is still bullish on the 4-hour chart. But we have a demand zone here. We have a demand zone here that is still unmitigated and maybe has some liquidity on the lower time frames. And maybe price will just react on the zone that I expect. If price just manages to react on the zone, I may expect that it will be flipped just because of this real nice amount of liquidity. Let me take a look on the 50-minute chart. What happens here? Okay, as you see, there is a clear 50-minute zone in this leg. I will just mark it as a supply, and price just reached this supply, mitigated the 50% of it. And then, other than that, there was a decisional zone here too. Price also, as you see, price just mitigated the zone. And after these mitigations, price just flipped the zone with huge inefficient movements. And yeah, this is it. The whole order flow is just bullish. There's no signs that the price will just change character to the downside. And here is the nice higher time liquidity for the 4-hour demand zone. The clear liquidity. And then there was some more liquidity swept into this decisional zone and also into the extreme one. So there's the liquidity swept. And we have this last 50-minute demand here. Here we go. This is the last recent 50-minute demand. There was no breaker structure here. As you see, price just bricked above this high point, but couldn't manage to break structure to the upside. So unless price takes out this low point, I'm still looking for longs. And maybe we will find some sort of 5-minute demand zone here with this directly below this real nice amount of liquidity. It's an exact double bottom or a near exact double bottom, so we can really expect the sweep of this liquidity and some bounce back after the sweep. And this is it. We need to focus on the current zones here, and this is the current supply and the current 50-minute demand zone. And the first scenario, if price sweeps the liquidity, bounce back on some sort of a 5-minute demand zones, or maybe on this 50-minute demand zone, or if price just flips this demand zone, then we will look for short continuations down to the next valid demand, which will be maybe this one. Just because there's a clear, breaker structure here caused by this demand. This is still has some inefficiency, and after this high point have been created, the only bullishness kicking into the market that caused a body break above this high point is this one. So unless price couldn't manage to break below this 50-minute demand, I'm still looking for longs. So let's switch to the 5-minute chart, and as you see, this is just a part of the whole movement, so there's no clear zones at this point. So I'm really expecting the mitigation of this zone after price manages to sweep this liquidity. So Jesus, I just can't go with this plan. Okay, here we go. And maybe after this sweep of the liquidity, we might see a nice higher time frame zone formed, and then a confirmation entering the higher time frame zone just to, ride the exponential order flow down to this 50-minute demand zone. but mainly I'm still focused on the long side of the market, just because of the long, the strong bullish pressures, and then the liquidity formation, sweep of the liquidity, and then follow the expectation order flow, which will lead price to a swing breaker structure on the 50-minute chart. So, and the next candle will be at exactly, London open. We have an extreme zone here. So if price maybe just confirmed this zone, it didn't really do anything significant, especially on the 50-minute chart here, and neither on the 5-minute one, because there was a really small, sub change of character, because there was no clear breaker structure to the upside. But if price maybe just confirms this zone, it might be a sign that price will need this liquidity, and in order to sweep this liquidity, price will just call like this 1-minute liquidity here. So as you see here is some nice amount of liquidity in 1-minute chart. So let me play price forward, and as you see, price is sweeping the liquidity, but on the 1-minute chart, everything is efficient. There is absolutely no inefficient movement can be found here, and price sweeping the efficient movements as liquidity, then reversing a bit, building some way more liquidity, because price is built at an exact double top that maybe that would lead price maybe to this extreme zone or extreme area here. There was no decision on the 5-minute chart, so it's absolutely nice to see. It would be absolutely nice to see a nice confirmation around this upper supply zone here, or maybe just a confirmation around this demand. Okay, nothing significant happened. And price just levitating back, maybe mitigating this extra 50-minute demand zone here. Okay, nothing that's significant. And then the mitigation happens. Okay, let's see. And there was a clear body break below this 50-minute demand. It was a really clear body break below, and we have a clear supply zone here, where we can definitely wait for maybe a continuation entry too. And as you see, there is no higher time frame zone on the zones on the 50-minute chart. Maybe there was some liquidity, the price is just sweeping. But since there was a clear body break below with huge and rapid bearish candles, I will be looking for short opportunities, a short confirmation entry here on this zone. But as you see, there was no unmitigated higher time frame zones. The only unmitigated higher time frame zone on the 5-minute chart is this one. Okay, because huge inefficiency kicked into the market, basically this zone caused some liquidity sweeping on the 1-minute chart here, and yeah, that's it. But it is still part of the liquidity. But unless price steps into any significance, because there is, as you see, no inefficient candles can be found here. But after this liquidity sweep, maybe I will just wait for a confirmation around the supply zone. It is way more safer, because we just can't really, because we just don't really know that how price would react after this liquidity sweep. If there will be just slow, bullish movements to the upside, some liquidity creation, then I might consider to enter on this 1-minute refinement. But unless price will just maybe just shoot up to the sky and then mitigates this zone, I will definitely wait for confirmation on this one. Okay, let me see. And yeah, this 1-minute candle, this really small doji candle caused the flip. But as you see, price is basically created some liquidity, but it's not enough for me to enter on this zone. I would rather, wait for the mitigation and the confirmation from the zone here. And as you see, these are just really slow and mostly efficient, bullish, candles that is climbing back up and mitigating this supply zone here. There was a small reaction on the zone. As you see, these candles are just reacted on this recently created flip zone. But then price is just mitigated this higher time frame zone. And there was no liquidation. There was absolutely no liquidation. So I'm definitely waiting for confirmation entry. And there could be a confirmation entry, because a change of character happens here. And I will just mark it as a change of character, because we have a clear change of character at this point. But What do we know about this really small percent mitigations on higher time frame zones? It could be sell or buy traps easily. In this case, it could be a sell trap easily. So I'm definitely waiting for a deeper mitigation on the zone. And as you see, that's why we cannot enter on this zone just after this really small percent mitigation up to the higher time frame zone. That there was basically no liquidity created. That's why I was waiting for clear deep mitigation on the zone. And in this case, we have a zone here and the change of character line here. And maybe this could be, a stronger change of character, the structure, a change of character. And then after price has swept some liquidity above the zone, it just reverses to the downside. And then maybe flip the zone. In this case, I will just check if there was any. Okay, it was just a wick above. There was no body breakable, so I'm still looking for shorts. And in this case, this is the last recent change of character, but in this case, I will be still looking for this low to be broken. First change of character happens. And the second change of character also happens. With a small wick, I would rather wait for a body break. Yeah, there's a clear body break here. And what we have here. So since price couldn't manage to break above with the body on the of this, clear decisional zone here, we can enter on this zone too. On the other hand, we have some inefficient candles on, at this region, but these could be all liquidity for the extreme. So it's much safer to enter on the extreme zone in this case. It's supply. The wick is just bigger than the 50% of the zone. That's why I will be using 50% entry and equilibrium entry using like a 2.5 or 2 bip stop loss. Maybe a 2 bip stop loss would work fine. And then targeting the next unmitigated demand or the next unmitigated significant demand, because as I said and as you saw, this could be easily part of some lower time frame liquidity. As you see, this could be some nice trendline liquidity here, or it could be trendline liquidity here. So I will just target the lower zone, the lower high time frame zone. Is there any unmitigated higher time frame zone? Basically, there is an inside bar here, or not an inside bar. It's not an inside bar. Sorry. Then it could be a zone here because there was a breaker structure, but I'm still looking for the mitigation of the zone. So the next unmitigated zone that I will consider as a really significant zone is this one. The session ends in a few minutes, like half an hour. So these movements might be a bit slower. The volume just sets down a little bit. Okay. Let's see what will happen. Okay, price is just reacting on some zones, but as you see that there is no volume in the market. Okay, some volume came into the market, but session is over. And in this case, there was some nice liquidity creation here, even more and clear liquidity for the 1 minute point of interest. But after session ended, I'm usually deleting my orders, and I don't let price run inside of my orders and sweep me out, because after session price action is just not reliable. That's why I will delete my order here. But let me see what price does next. Mitigates the demand, ranging a little bit. And then there was is like no, this was just a middle of nowhere reversal. Okay, let me play price in the 5 minute chart. And then price couldn't manage to reach, it was just a PPI news kicked in. Yeah, it was the high impact news that I showed you just before the London backtesting. And yeah, price just collected the liquidity, reversed to the downside, and then price just collected enough liquidity maybe from these stops at the price needed. And then after this huge news release, price just reversed to the upside and mitigated this significant 50-minute demand here. So that's it. This was a 9th of December. Yeah, it was 9th of December. Thank you guys for being here. And yeah, have a nice one. Bye, guys.